I've got the braking in sports mode at the moment, so I'm going to just test them out. I'm going to leave a little gap before I just test these out. I'm going to floor it, and then I'm going to Jesus Christ, holy crap. Hi guys, Alex Peak Performance Reviews. Welcome to another vlog and welcome to another car review video. And I'm really excited about this one. I have got the new BMW M4 Competition xDrive. So xDrive obviously means all-wheel drive essentially, and it's M-Drive. It's their M-Drive version, which is an amazing all-wheel drive system that can switch its bias. It's massively rear-wheel drive biased out the factory, but you can basically completely put it to rear-wheel drive. You can go onto sports mode, which is a happy medium, and you can go onto all-wheel drive. And looks are subjective. I've got it here in this lovely white colour, links in the bio to the exact spec, and obviously where you can get this and more information about everything in terms of tech spec, etc. But if you've got any comments, as always guys, hit us up in the comment section and we'll be sure to answer you, because obviously I don't want to make this a super long video. But let's get the elephant out of the room, everyone. Kidney grille, what do you think? Hit us up in the comment section. I'll be honest with you, I don't like it. The moment I saw it, I didn't like the kidney front grille, but in some colours, and I do still like it in this white, but I wouldn't have it in that. I've seen it in the metallic blue, and it for me is absolutely stunning. Some of the darker colours do hide the kidney grille a little bit, and for me, I wouldn't give two hoots about that part of the car, because the rest of the car for me is absolutely stunning. From the big giant alloy wheels, this one comes with the carbon ceramic brakes as well, to just the general consensus, the general lines and everything on this car. It's got some beautiful lines. This kind of section here does kind of break up the kidney grille. It's quite nice. They've got this little indentation in the front here. But in general, it's a beautiful place to be. This is a carbon packed car, so there's a lot of carbon fibre on it, which is really nice. £6,000 upgrade, so it's not too bad. A lot of parts in there, including the beautiful to die for carbon fibre seats, which are beautiful. But overall, for me, the design and look of this car is absolutely stunning. I love the car. I love the look of the car. It's just that I don't particularly like. I don't hate it. It wouldn't be a game changer for me, not at all. In general, I think it's an absolutely stunning car inside and out. I mean, inside, it's absolutely stunning. External, yeah, front end, subjective. Let us know, like I say, in the comment section, what you guys think. But the most important thing for me is the drive. Everyone knows that I love a lovely dynamic driver's car, and I'm hearing good things, but I'm going to make my own judgment. But yeah, watch on and enjoy the drive and the review, and see you in a bit. Right, so yeah, let's give this a cold start and see what it sounds like. Woo. Sounds nice inside. What does it sound like outside? Right guys, yeah, so onto the driving. Let's see what this car is all about. It's got mainly lots of respect so far, and I have to say that most people are saying very positive things about this car. And there's a few people that are saying that it's a little bit clinical, although I've only heard that from one publication, but in general, I'm hearing really good things. Like I always say to my viewers, it is always going to be what I think, and I'm going to give you my honest opinions on this car and what I think about it. Let's see what the performance is like from this set of traffic lights. Let's give it a bit of a push. Damn, this car's fast. Have a little listen to this. It sounds good, it sounds good. These carbon seats are absolutely amazing. If you're probably a little bit on the big side, I would say that you're probably going to struggle. They're figure hugging for me, and as you will all know if you follow the channel, I am quite small. I'm a short arse. I'm like 5'6". And yeah, this is absolutely, I'm not a wide guy, I'm fairly small. And yeah, it's a really figure hugging seat out the factory, and really nice, but it keeps you in place in a car that's obviously nice and tight and taut, and you're going to be able to throw around quite a bit. And judging by the first impression of just only a few minutes drive, I have to say you can instantly feel that this is something special. And obviously I'm speaking very early here. I have to say the interior is second to none. It is absolutely stunning. These carbon seats really do make it. Some people complain about these middle bits. You can hit the inside of your leg. You can, but your leg naturally kind of forms and flows to the direction of where they need to be. I suppose, if that's the right way of explaining it. I don't find it uncomfortable, to be honest with you. It just seems to keep your left and right foot where it needs to be. Someone was saying something about left foot braking being affected. I think very little. If you are really going to left foot brake in a car, you might maybe on track. But in general, I've got no complaints about those seats. They're absolutely superb, and the interior quality in general is nothing simply short of stunning. It is a beautiful place to be. You can smell the high quality leathers that you use, lots of real carbon fibre in here, high quality brushed aluminiums, and also real carbon fibre flappy paddles as well on the carbon pack, which is really nice. Beautiful sound system in here from Harman Kardon as well. Like I say, retail of these are £76,000 on the road. That's RRP. I'm sure if you go into a dealer and you haggle a little bit, I would imagine you're probably going to be able to get one of these for late 60s to early 70s in base spec. There's actually a lot of toys out of the factory on these, but you can spec them to get them to around 80,000, even up to close to 90 if you put all the spec on it. However, you can get some really cool packs that you can add about 8,000, 9,000 pounds, and they have 95% of all the options ticked anyway. So again, I think if you go into a dealer, you might end up being able to get one of these nicely spec'd up for late 70s, I think. And certainly that would be what I would try to do. For that, and for your value for money for that, you are, in today's standards, in my opinion, getting actually quite a lot for your money. Other people, or some people, would argue that wouldn't be the case, but it is an absolutely beautiful place to be. And obviously there is a party piece, and that is going to be this motor. It's a silky smooth, lovely straight six 3 litre twin turbo engine, kicking out 510 brake horsepower, and it has just shy of 500 foot-pounds of torque, which is about, I think, 650 newton meters of torque, which is crazy. The M4 in the UK you can only get in the this ZF 8-speed gearbox, which is a torque converter car. But as a torque converted car goes, this has got to be one of the sweetest boxes, I think, out there in terms of auto. DSG boxes are amazing. They're fast changing. They give you a little thump through the gearbox. This doesn't. It has a much smoother transition through the gears. Some people like that. You could say it's more refined. On this particular car, it is more refined than ever before. It just seems to feel more smoother than any of the other ZF gearboxes I've ever seen on M cars of old. Or even of late. So it's very nice, lovely and silky smooth, and yeah, very quick to change, so no complaints there of that. Steering feel, obviously you can change from mode to mode, and you can customize it through the display, and you can customize everything, including the dampening, the suspension settings, throttle response, even brake pedal feel as well. But the key thing on this car, which obviously I will talk about, is the xDrive system. Some people will say that, or they'll probably say and think that, you know, as a purist, the M3 and the M4 always used to be about having a bit of hoony fun and having a bit of sliding tail out fun. Now, everyone would imagine that having xDrive, four-wheel drive system, would mean that the whole orchestration of you know, driving a car fast and a proper dynamic, you know, driver's car fast would be dulled down and diluted because they've now got this xDrive system. However, that is so wrong, and I'll tell you why. It is because it is hugely rear-wheel drive biased. I won't tell you the differential. Everything's going to be in the links in the bio, so just check that out for all tech specs and anything else that I may have not mentioned, including differential of power to each axle. But the beauty is, so out of the factory, this is very rear-wheel biased, but obviously it's only, it's basically like torque vectoring or using clutch plates, and basically it sends more drive to any given wheel when, like say, the rear gives up the ghost or starts to get a bit of slip. The front comes in and just basically tucks that front in. But even on the standard settings, which is almost full xDrive with its slightly biased or quite rear-wheel drive biased all-wheel drive system, it really will look after you, and it still will be a minuscule bit naughty, but very safe for the occupant and the driver. However, you can then put it into a sports mode, xDrive Sport, and it then sends even more power to the rear wheels, so you can be a little bit naughty, even more naughty, and yet it still will look after you. Or the pièce de résistance, you can turn this system off completely in the sub menu, easy, and it will go to complete two-wheel drive. It basically essentially disconnects one of those drivetrains, and it will put it into a full rear-wheel drive mode. So absolute best of both worlds. These are not much more, I think circa £4,000 more than a rear-wheel drive version. And I'm telling you now, if you live in the UK, which most of our viewers probably watching this will probably do so, or will be, if you don't, I probably would say go with the rear-wheel drive version. But do you know what? Normally I'm a rear-wheel drive guy, but this kind of car is the kind of car that you will use for everyday situations. It'll be a really fast, fun daily. It's probably the most fun, fast daily you can think of. And for that reason, to have the best of both worlds in this climate in the UK with horrible winters, long winters, you know, snow, ice, all of that, rain, you know, very frequently, this xDrive system is an absolute game changer in my opinion, and probably would be the way I would go for that small amount extra you would pay. It is absolutely sublime, and I'm going to show you how sublime it is with pushing this chassis a bit more now for you. So yeah, before we push this on a little bit further forward, let's talk about the brakes. That's an integral part of how a car will feel as a dynamic weapon. Well, this car, it's not a light car. It weighs in at about 1,850 kg, so it's obviously quite heavy. I think the rear-wheel drive version is just under, a shade under 1,800 kilograms. So both cars are, you know, relatively heavy. So they are going to have to have quite big brake systems on it. That being said, I think BMW have been more than generous, and you will find yourself with a 380mm set of discs, basically. Steel discs out of the factory, but you can have a factory optional carbon ceramic, which I have got on this car, which is really good. I've got the brake in sports mode at the moment, so I'm going to just test them out. I'm going to leave a little gap before I just test these out. I'm going to floor it, and then I'm going to Jesus Christ. Holy crap. So yeah, this definitely brakes as well as it goes. Yeah, rest assured the brakes are damn good on this car. Okay, we've got a little private road. We're just going to do a quick 0 to 60 test. Jesus. So we just done 0 to 60 in 3.7, but let's just have another go.
System checked. Proceed to test. 60 miles per hour.
Jesus, hell, it's fast. 3.6 seconds to 60. Easy as that. Wow. It's got a lovely heads-up display in here, as well as a little rev counter that chases itself into the middle, going from kind of green to yellows to reds to give you that gear change kind of indication, which is superb. But we've got a lovely day, we've got a mega car, and I just have to say, just before we're even pushing this car to its limits around some some kind of like nice country kind of roads, the drive is amazing. The comfort level and the cleverness that the M guys and the techs have put into this car to make the dampening and spring rate, it's just so good. It's just so good. It's been dampened and sprung to absolute perfection, and this car is amazing. And obviously it's a pretty cold day. Well, I say pretty cold, it's 12 degrees, but it's just a beautiful day to have a car like this out and about on these beautiful roads, and it's just such a pleasure to drive. It's quite hard, it's quite stiffly sprung, but not something you wouldn't be able to live with and go even really long distances with, to be honest with you. It's absolutely dampened and stiffened to absolute perfection. Now, I always say that, in my opinion, the key to a really good car is how quickly you can gel with it. And basically, if a car is really good, I find that you gel with it really quick. Some cars you do, some cars you don't, and it is dependent on what you kind of need and want from a car. Now, some cars just are so good all round that I don't think anyone should not like them. And this is one of those cars. I have to say, I honestly, wholeheartedly will say to you guys now, and God's honest truth from my heart, this car is so good. It is such a great car. And I have to say, there's cars like, and I know I babble on about it all the time because it's a car that I chose and I've got, FK8 Civic Type R, hot hatch, best hot hatch out there, absolutely amazing. GT4, one of the best, most amazing rear-wheel drive cars ever created. It is an absolute triumph. It's different level. These kind of cars are all just noteworthy, unworldly, different, high-end, amazing cars. Well, I say high-end, but different level cars. And this is another one of them. I have to say, this has come out, and I've driven loads of other M cars many a time and reviewed it for the channel, and I've always been very impressed. But I have to say, this is the first one that has blown me away, definitely since the M2. The M2 was a special little car, and it made me smile, and I thought it was absolutely amazing. And there's not been any other cars that has done that to me and for me for quite some time, and this finally has. And do you know what? Normally, especially these days, you would think that a modern car that keeps on, or lots of cars are getting distilled down before we go into the generation of potentially, you know, electric cars. They're getting distilled down, and a lot of the essence of the old school feel has gone out of a lot of cars. So a lot of the life and soul has gone out of a modern car, or a lot of modern cars. But there's still a plenty of really good cars, and this is one of those cars. As an all-round package, definitely around 70,000 to 80,000 pounds, which I reckon you can get one without a question of a doubt. Nicely specced up, in my opinion. It is something truly special, and it has been smashed out of the absolute park by BMW. And I have to say, if I had the money, would I have one? Hell yes, I would. This is my new daily driver, all-round daily driver, in the luxury segment especially, and I would say that it definitely ticks those boxes for that. This car is the best car out there for what it does, bar none. It is absolutely superb. I mean, a car that I'll use as an example that I've driven recently, which is a completely different animal, a little bit more wilder and very fun, but in a different way, is the Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio. That car is amazing. It's also one of those cars that I'd say is one of the best cars ever created. It's a bit more naughty, a bit different. It's a lot more loose. It's less clinical. Although this is relatively clinical, it looks after you, but you can still be naughty with it if you want, and you feel like you're in charge of it. The Alfa a little bit more, you're kind of almost not in charge of it, and you have to be really switched on. It's a little bit more rolly in the chassis, definitely. This is more competent, and if you put them on track, for example, you'd probably have more fun in the wilder Alfa but not much. This is amazing, I'm telling you. It doesn't feel its weight, it's amazing. But point to point, A to B around the circuit, this would absolutely annihilate the Alpha, I can guarantee you. It'd be more akin to something like the GTA M, and I even would still say then this car would probably beat 90% of cars that you can think of that'll be out on a track day. So yeah, what a machine. But yeah, let's push it on a bit more. I've felt the chassis already, it does feel really good, but I do want to just push it on just that little bit more. Damp roads around here because they're obviously got a bit of dew on them, and you can feel the car actually moving around a little bit. It's slippery little roads, but the xDrive is really looking after you. And this is the prime example. Hilly, twisty, dew covered roads on the UK. It's 12 degrees, but these roads, they don't warm up and they get covered with dew. And I tell you what, if I had 510 horsepower on tap and I did that in a rear wheel car, I'd probably be in them bushes. I'd be sideways having a pedal. Don't get me wrong, BMW have done a really good a good job with the rear wheel drive car. It does still look after you, but this xDrive in all conditions and all situations is just something else. What a car. Jeez, yes. What a machine. Holy crap. And I'll tell you what, it will you'll want to be careful with your license when you've got a car like this. Holy crap, it shifts. Let's use the flappy paddles. Let's go down a second. Ready, here we go. Right, let's go. Jeez, brakes are just unbelievable. These roads. Go on. Brake. Apex. Lovely. Steering feel on the Sport is lovely. Comes in a lot more when you're pushing it a little bit more. These roads are gorgeous. Flipping heck. What a machine. It just doesn't feel its weight at all. It dances around a little bit. Sorry guys, I might sound a bit stupid, but this is just flipping heck, the grip is unreal. What a machine. Flipping heck. Flipping heck. I want to clap, but I'm going to keep one hand at least on the steering wheel. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. BMW. Mind blown. What a car. What a car. You see that? Don't know whether you can. Hairs standing on end. What a controlled chassis. There's so little body roll, and you can just feel everything that the car is doing underneath it, through your bum and through your fingertips. You feel just at one with the car. It just feels like a dialed in race car, but soft enough to still daily, which I don't think happens that often. And the sheer pace of it from point A to B, that's whether you're talking straight line or twisties, unreal. And the brakes are unbelievable. Yes, yes BMW. What a machine, what a car. So guys, that is the end of our video, and yeah, literally I haven't got too much more to say that I haven't said in the video. Just to summarize, this car as an all-round package, as a driver's tool, as a tool that you can take onto track, a tool that you can really daily and be fast and executive all at the same time is unreal. I mean, the fact that it's got cameras on board, front and rear, that you can connect to a BMW track app, that you can then see your video footage and your track analytics, is just it shows what basically BMW have made this car into. And I have to say, without a question of a doubt, it is one of the best cars ever created, and I absolutely adore it. And I would wholeheartedly say to you guys, if you're in the market for one, go get one. With that, thank you so much for watching, guys. As always, like, share, comment, subscribe. We'll see you again in the next one. Bye for now.